Hi guys, happy Monday. So it is April 27th. I know we don't really pay attention to our dates now because everything's just kind of a blur. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Most of you have not been emailing me like over the weekend, which is good. I want you to make sure you turn off for a day or two. Saturday, Sunday, 2 days at least. And then get back ready to work on Monday. So on Saturday, I make a point of not opening my computer usually. So I think it's important for all of us to have a little time where we're not thinking of all the things we need to get done and, checking the computer. I think we're getting more than enough screen time. So try and make sure that you're giving yourself that break. That being said, I want to talk about the work that you have been doing. And I'm so proud of you guys that have been finishing your essay and you have been doing all of the benchmark. And some of you struggled the week before, but then this last week you kind of picked it up, but then you still didn't do any writing. So I need you guys to figure out those are the things that need to get done. So let's say for writing, let's say you kick butt on the benchmark and you get that all done, and then it's Friday and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't, and you have to write a 5-paragraph essay. Send me an email and just say, hey, I worked really hard on benchmark. I worked really hard on math. I didn't have enough time. And then just write me a paragraph. Do a paragraph on, an important person in the American Revolution. Done. That's fine. But when you have absolutely nothing on those Google Docs, that's showing me that you're not doing the work. And then if you're not communicating with me, I just think you're slacking and you're watching TV or playing video games or, So you guys really need to prioritize. You are at an age where your parents shouldn't really have to be on you. You know what's due. You know how to check it. So get it done. The other thing I noticed, and I don't know enough about YouTube, but when I do my morning messages, it says only 3 people have seen it, 5 people have seen it, which I don't care about my popularity. However, last week you had a 5-paragraph essay and I wrote out 2 of the entire paragraphs for you if you wanted. I've done some benchmark answers. I do the math pages sometimes with you. So I do it to help you. You guys need to be watching these every morning. And that also goes for in your slides, you're going to see links. So when there's things called Powtoons or Edpuzzle or Number Rock, you need to click on those and watch those. Those are additional teaching videos for the things that maybe you didn't understand when I said it or you're just not getting. So make sure you're using all those resources. Okay, I think I can switch. Read aloud. This is our read aloud, and I changed it so I put it all on a slide, and that you guys can hopefully click on the slide and listen to it. If you don't have time and you don't want to listen to the read aloud, you're not going to hurt my feelings. But just know it's there. So I tried to make it a little more organized for you because I heard from some people that they hadn't started. So now they're all in one place and you can just go at any speed you want. Okay, let's flip around. Okay, so today what you're responsible for, benchmark, you're going to read question and answers. And this one's kind of fun because it's about the oceans. So it's expository, but it's kind of cool. And who doesn't love the ocean? So you're going to do pages 22 to 24. I believe those are questions 1 and 2, or maybe just question 1, and then you're going to find the key details and main idea. I'm going to show you something that might help. And again, this is why you want to watch it. So in my book, here's my handy dandy answers. So it says paragraph 1 to 3, and it gives a couple of key details. So you could look for those. Then it gives you a main idea. So that can kind of help guide you to make sure that you are on the right track. And then for this week's writing, you're going to be writing a 5-paragraph essay, just like you've done the last 2 weeks. This is the last time, don't worry. We're going to switch it up next week. So, but you guys have done a really good job with your organization, with your 5 paragraphs. The one thing I would say is just pay attention to your red lines. Sometimes it's just adding the letter S to a word, or it's the order of your words that's kind of off. So make sure you do that. Capitals. See how I capitalize American Revolution? Yeah, that has to be capitalized and spelled correctly. Those are just kind of basic expectations that I have, and I need you guys to be doing that proofreading part on Friday to make sure that it looks good. So you will need to read a couple pages in your social studies book, so that talks about the battles in the American Revolution. It actually starts on the page before. So how we beat the British, which is amazing in itself because they were quite the powerhouse. So one that I thought was important was the Boston Siege. So you can read about it there. Tomorrow I will write a paragraph for you. If you are interested, tune in. Allies and enemies. There's information there that's important. Page 124 talks about the Battle of Saratoga. So I thought that one was kind of important. You can choose whatever battles you want. If you don't like any of these battles, you're going to have to do your own research. But try and keep it simple and just take from this book. War at Sea and in the West, the Southern Campaign. And then Yorktown is important because that's kind of where it all got wrapped up, where Cornwallis surrendered, and that's, we won, woo! So, but again, you can pick whichever battles you want. Make sure that your 3 battles are mentioned in both your introduction and your conclusion. I kind of feel like some of you got lazy with your important people, and you mentioned them in the introduction, but then in the conclusion you just said, yeah, and these 3 people were important in the American Revolution. Done. Okay, so your last paragraph should not be 1 sentence. Okay, math, we're going to do 8-11. I'll get started on that in just a minute. And then I just wanted to remind you, we have our class Zoom at 10 o'clock, and I'll send that out in Google Classroom. We also have this week, and I'll try and do it every week, we have a Zoom with Mrs. Mrs. Wing. She's missing you guys. And I tried to send something out from her, and I don't think it worked. But she's been missing you guys. So this one is Mrs. Wing. So she's going to do a read aloud. And so that probably wouldn't take too much time, but I know she would love to see your faces. And then Friday we'll do office hours. I only had 2 or 3 people join last week, but it was awesome because Arjun and I got some good stuff covered, and McKenna had some questions that she asked that were great. So I would say, you know, if there's anything kind of you're not sure about, because this is all new, please tune in. All right, so I moved my handy dandy thing. Let's try to, I don't know how to pause this. That'll be my next thing I learn. So I'm just gonna talk for a minute. I'll just tell y'all, flip-a-roo, I'm gonna tell you before I get started on math. I had a great weekend. So on Saturday, we had our theme party. So this week's party was Giants, and I'll try and send a picture. So the little ones and Chris and I went to the park and played softball. And that was our baseball, all dressed up in our Giants gear. And then we came home, and it was, again, all about the food. So we made, Mr. Sassano made garlic fries. Mr. Sassano, myself, and Katie did homemade churros, the Disneyland recipe. And we had nachos and hot dogs. I did the hot dogs. Oh, and then Emma and Abby made homemade pretzels, and half of them were salted, and then the other half, you know, like the big yummy pretzels, like Auntie Annie's or whatever they have at the mall. Big pretzels, and half were cinnamon sugar. So yeah, it was all about the food. And then we watched an old Giants game where they beat the Royals, the 7th game of the World Series. Woo! And we were dressed up. Did we do anything else? Not really. I think that was about it. But it was super fun. And it's just something that we have to look forward to, so it's not like all the same. But I've had a few moments that have been tough, and like, you know, I don't know. It's just, life is different right now. So if there's anything that you're struggling with, that's totally normal. And I'm here if you need me. And do what you can, and just, you know, try and make lemonade. I actually dressed up the other day. Like, I put a dress on, not a fancy dress, but just a dress, and I did my hair and I did my makeup because I was feeling like icky. And I was like, you know what, maybe if I look better, I'll feel better, and it did kind of help. So I don't know. Sometimes when we're just like, what, in our pajamas, that's just how we feel. That's how it's gonna stay. Okay, let's get some math done. Bam. Try not to turn it off. That would be a bummer. Okay, this is my handy dandy little thing. Okay. See if I break it. Okay, so if I go like that. All right, so we are on Not that one. Not that one. Oh, we are on 810. Are we on 810? I thought we were on 811. Let's check our schedule. That's Wednesday. Apologize. We are on 810. I wrote 811. My bad. All right, so 810, we're going to continue with working on volume. So this shows layers of the rectangular prism. So it is 3D. So if one layer they're showing here is 8 pieces. Okay, I'm trying to make this straight. Okay, so this is 8. Really cool out here. I have hummingbirds that come to see me. That's awesome. You can hear because it goes, it's their wings beating so fast. All right, so that's one layer. So if I have 2 layers, there's a couple different ways you can do it. If one layer is 8, then 2 layers is going to be 16. You can kind of see a pattern. And then 3 layers is, that's 8, 8, and 8, that's going to be 24. And if that's 8, 8, 8, and 8, that's 8 times 4, so that's 32. And if you don't believe me, you can go, oh, well, I'm going to do length times width times height, because that's what volume is. And I'm going to do my length is 4, and my width is 2, and my height is 4. Well, if I do 4 times 2, that's 8. And then 8 times 4 is 32. So, see, told you so. All right, so 5 layers is 8 times 5, which is 40. And 6 layers, of course, is going to be 48. All right, so you got a little pattern thing going on here. So the volume of a prism is the number of cubes needed to build a prism. Volume is recorded in cubic units. So when we do that, cubic units is going to be, and I'll show you later on, it's going to have like the little baby 3 sometimes. So unless you write out cubic units, then it won't. Okay, so if one layer is 4 times 2 times 1, that is 8. 4 times 2 times 2 is 24. Oh, sorry, 16. Jumping ahead. 16. It's basically doing what we just did up here. So when we did 24, it was 4 times 2 times 3, which is 24. And then 4 times 2 times 4 is 32. And my pen's too big, that's 40, that's 48. So it's just going through the same ones that we just did. All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, let's flip it around. I hope you guys are out enjoying some sunshine too, because it's gorgeous weather. Don't forget your sunblock, but make sure you're getting your PE done. All right, so this side just gives you the different prisms, and it's 3D, so it shows you kind of what it looks like, and it has the lines like behind it so you can see that. So you need to be able to identify and know the difference. What's length, what's width, what's height. Now when you're doing volume, does it really matter? No, because you have 3 numbers and you need to multiply them. But knowing what one is length and what one's width and height is important, because you're going to have questions that are a little advanced, and they're going to maybe hide the width but give you the volume, and you're going to have to figure out, well, what do they mean find the width? I don't know which one is the width. So you need to know its length, width, and height. So length is always going to be this one in front here, like that. All right, and then width is always going to be the one going back. And then height, I think that's probably the easiest of all of them. That's the one going up and down. All right, okay, so you got length, width, height, with my big fat pen. So on this one, the length was 7, the width is 4, and the height is 5. And then they want you to write it out just like they have it in parentheses, all 3 numbers being multiplied together, and then they want the answer, and they want it in cubic feet. And again, whoop, I'm losing you. My table is filthy out here, goodness. There's a couple different ways to write it. So cubic feet, you can just do the abbreviation for cubic and feet, or you can do feet and take out the cubic, but then you have to do the baby 3. So I don't know if you can see. Oh, handy dandy little thing here. So that is feet cubed. Let me see if I can write it up here better. Feet, that's not better. Feet, and then you would put cubed, a little baby 3. So that little exponent, that means it's cubed. And part of the reason for that is because it is 3D. So that's cubic. All right, so the next one, I'm just gonna do one more for you because this is a long video. And then we're gonna do the length, which is in front. So that's 6 feet. And then the width goes backwards like that. So that's 15. Whoops, sorry, I'm not feet, I'm centimeters. And then the height is going up and down, so that one is 10 centimeters. All right, and then what do we do to solve it? Well, we have to multiply them all. So 7 times 15 times 10, and that's kind of long because I have a big giant pen. All right, so if you multiply those all together, well, let's see. 7 times 15, we can go ahead and do that up here. 15, whoops, times 7, not 17. 35, carry my 3. That is 10, 105. So then I have to do 105. That's not right. What the heck did I do? 6 times 15? Oh, because I did a 7. Knucklehead. It's just like being at school, isn't it? Making mistakes. All right, sorry. So that's 30, carry my 3, 6 times, that's 9. How about that? 90. And then I know that 90 times 10, make sure you multiply all 3 numbers. That's kind of messes people up sometimes. They're like, oh, my answer's 90. No, it's not. You got to multiply by 10. So 10 times 90 is 900. And then I would label it cubic centimeters. All right, that's a 9. All right, so remember, it is your job to figure out what you need to get done for the day. It is your job to reach out if you have questions. So if I'm doing this and I stop right here at number 8 and you're like, I still don't get it, then you email me and you say, hey, could you help me with number 9 and 10 or whatever? And we can Zoom. It's been awesome Zooming individually. I love that. So have a great Monday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.